What's up, guys? My name is Andrew. I'm a touring front of house engineer, and today I just wanted to walk you through the setup with my Behringer WING Compact and how I'm able to run waves tune real time through it and have a backup for my vocals just in case the computer goes down. So let's get to it. Today I'm going to be going through channel 22 on my console. I'm just on an initialized scene here. I have my talkback microphone running through local 22, and we'll see here on the screen if I talk into it, we've got a little bit of signal here, so we'll just go ahead and start by gaining this up a little bit. Hey 1 2, and there you go, got some healthy signal on there. Now the way that we want to route through the console into the computer and then back into the console so we can have the real-time tuning is by going to the routing tab. We're going to go on our main channel input, and the way I like to run this is I like to have my processed vocal as my main input, and then I'm going to use the alternate input to be the unprocessed vocal. That way, in case it goes down during the show, you can quickly switch over to the unprocessed vocal and hopefully not have too much time that went by before the vocal comes back. So to do that, we're going to go to our channels up top, unlock. I'm going to change my source group to USB audio, and I like to keep everything 1-to-1. So since I'm on channel 22, we're going to use USB 22 as my input source. Now, to get the audio to the computer, we're going to have to change our routing on our outputs tab. So we'll go up here to outputs. You'll see I'm already on USB audio here. I kind of set this up ahead of time, but we'll go ahead and pretend as if I'm just on my local out default screen. So same thing, we'll unlock. We'll change our output group to USB audio, and I'm going to select local 22 on USB channel 22. So it's going to send my local 22 down the USB into the DAW, and then from the DAW we're going to use output 22 on that end to return it to the console. So let's go ahead and jump over to the DAW. Alright, so I have a blank Logic session opened up here, and what we're going to do is first we're going to go down to our device and make sure that we're reading in and out from the wing, and we're keeping our buffer size as small as possible, so 32. If you're on a newer Mac M1 or M2 chip or beyond, this should be no problem at all. So you're looking, we see about 7.6 milliseconds round trip, which is not going to be noticeable to the audience. So everything looks good here, and we're going to go ahead and build our audio channel. So audio input, I'm going to use input 22 from our wing card and go ahead and create that. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and configure the output. So we're going to change from stereo output here to mono output 22. So that's going to be sending through channel 22 back into the console. And then from there we will just load our Waves real-time tuner. And I like to just keep this on the default patch here. It works really well. I'm in chromatic. Your singer just needs to be near the note. It's going to catch it and grab it real quick and tune it up. And from here we're good to go. Now the thing to keep in mind is you're not going to hear any audio unless you have record enabled or you have the input monitoring selected. So since I like to record every show that I mix, I just keep the record enable going, and I allow the Waves Real Tune to process as I'm recording the shows. So let's go ahead and jump back to the console and check this out and see how it works. Alright, so back at the console, I'm going to go ahead and hit home, and we're back on my channel 22 where my vocal is. We already have it set up here where I'm on my USB input 22. So let's go ahead and set up our alternate input, and this is going to be the input that we go to just in case the computer crashes and we're no longer getting processed audio from it. So from home we're going to go down to the channel input screen. We'll go click on Alt, and you can click and choose where it's going to come from. So since we're using channel 22, my local 22 for this one, I'm just going to select local 22. Now if you're using AESA as your input source, you'll just go here and hit AESA and you can choose your input there. But since we're on local, we'll just go ahead and keep it there and we should be good to go now. So we'll go ahead and start with looking at our input from our card. So if I test the mic, hey, 1, 2, we can see I've got signal here. And over inside of the DAW, we can see that Wave's real-time tune is processing this audio. Now, if I were to go here and disengage this recording, you'll see here audio's not passing through to the console anymore because nothing is going through the channel strip on our DAW. So we'll go ahead and reapply that. And let's just simulate here. I'm going to disengage the recording again, and you'll see there's no audio that's going to show up here. Oh, audio's gone. And it's as easy as just quickly hitting your alternate input, and suddenly I have my unprocessed microphone input go into this channel. So this is an excellent way to integrate Wave's Tune Real-Time into your workflow and tighten up the vocal performance for whichever artist you're working for. Now, if you're going to be doing monitors from your front of house desk, I would not recommend doing this the way that I just showed you. What you should do instead is have 2 channels for each vocal, one that's processed through the computer and the other that's not, for 2 reasons. One, you have a physical fader as your backup just in case the computer crashes. And the second is, if you're going to be sending vocalists their vocal through the monitors, you don't want to send them a tuned vocal. It'll sound very unnatural to them. It'll sound like a chorusy effect because no matter how close they get to actually hitting that note, it's still going to be slightly off, and yeah, you just don't want to send that to your musician. So hope this was a helpful tutorial and you learned something from it. Definitely a really cool way to save on channel count, especially if you have, you know, with the Wing we have 40 channels here, so in case you're running pretty tight with that and can't afford to sacrifice 2 physical channels per vocal, this is a great way to still have a redundancy and backup plan just in case the computer goes down.